How many times have you finished a book, only to realize a week later that you can barely remember what it was about? You spent hours, maybe even days, with it, but the key ideas just evaporated. It feels like a total waste of time, right? The good news is, it doesn't have to be this way. Most of us were taught how to read, but we were never taught how to read effectively. We're stuck in habits from elementary school that are slowing us down and killing our comprehension. But today, that changes. I'm going to share a complete system to help you not only double or even triple your reading speed but also remember more of what you read, permanently. So if you're ready to transform your relationship with books, let's get into it. Let's start by talking about the huge difference between passive and active reading. Passive reading is what most of us do by default. It's when you let your eyes glide over the words, maybe you're highlighting a few sentences here and there, and you just hope the information sticks. It's like watching a movie, you're just a spectator. Your brain is in a low-energy state, and because you're not engaging with the material, you're not creating the strong neural connections needed for long-term memory. It's why you can read a whole chapter and have no idea what you just read. We've all been there. Active reading, on the other hand, is a full-contact sport. It's a conversation between you and the author. You're questioning, challenging, and connecting ideas. Instead of just highlighting, you're writing notes in the margins, asking, why is this important, or how does this connect to what I already know? You're actively hunting for the core message. This fundamental shift from being a passive consumer to an active participant is the absolute bedrock of reading to learn and remember. It takes a bit more effort up front, but the payoff is massive. Now, let's talk about speed. Many people think that reading faster means sacrificing comprehension. This is a huge myth. In fact, reading slowly can often hurt your comprehension because it gives your mind more time to wander. The key is to eliminate the bad habits that are slowing you down without you even realizing it. The first and biggest one is called subvocalization. That's the little voice in your head that says every single word as you read. This habit is a relic from when we learned to read out loud, and it limits your reading speed to your talking speed, which is about 200 to 300 words per minute. But your brain can process information much faster than that. To break this habit, you need to occupy that inner voice. One way is to hum quietly to yourself or count 1 2 3 4 over and over in your head while you read. It feels weird at first, but it forces your brain to stop saying every word. Another simple but incredibly effective technique is to use a pacer. This can be your finger, a pen, or a cursor on a screen. Guide your eyes along the line of text, moving it slightly faster than you're comfortable with. This does two things: it prevents your eyes from jumping back to reread words, a habit called regression, and it keeps you moving forward at a consistent, faster pace. You'll be amazed at how quickly your speed increases just by implementing these two tricks. Don't worry if your comprehension dips a little at first. That's normal. Stick with it, and your brain will adapt. You're not just reading faster, you're training your brain to process visual information more efficiently. Okay, so you're reading faster. Great. But what's the point if you can't remember anything? This is where we fix your retention. Forgetting is not a failure of your memory, it's a failure of your system for capturing and reviewing information. Highlighting is not enough. Your future self will look at a yellow page and have no idea why you thought that sentence was important. The secret is to create your own summary of the material. After you finish a chapter, close the book. This is crucial. Now, on a blank piece of paper or in a new document, try to recall. And write down the main arguments, the key concepts, and any supporting examples you can remember. This act of forced recall is called active recall, and it's one of the most powerful learning techniques known to science. It's difficult, but that struggle is what builds strong memories. You're not just rereading, you're recreating the knowledge in your own words. After you've written down everything you can remember, open the book again and fill in the gaps. See what you missed? This shows you exactly where your understanding is weak. This single habit of summarizing from memory after each reading session will do more for your retention than 100 highlighters. Another powerful technique is to connect what you're reading to your own life. Ask yourself, how can I use this idea? Does this confirm or challenge something I already believe? Who do I know that needs to hear this? Creating these personal connections acts like a web, catching the new information and linking it to your existing knowledge, making it much harder to forget. Now, let's put it all together into a simple, actionable system you can start using today. I call it the 5-minute system because it's built around a few small, 5-minute habits that make a huge difference. Before you even start reading a book or an article, spend just 5 minutes previewing it. Don't read it, just scan it. Look at the table of contents, the chapter titles, headings, and any bolded text or diagrams. Read the introduction and the conclusion. What's the big idea here? What questions do you have? This creates a mental map, a framework in your mind where you can place the new information as you read. It gives you context and dramatically improves your comprehension. Then, as you read, use a pacer to guide your eyes and push your speed. Remember to read actively, with a pen in hand, looking for answers to your initial questions. The real magic happens after you finish a reading session. Before you do anything else, put the book down and take 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. Use active recall. On a piece of paper, jot down the main points you just read. Don't look at the book. What were the core arguments? What were the most surprising facts? What were the key takeaways? Do this from pure memory. After your 5 minutes are up, you can quickly skim the chapter to see what you missed. This simple 5-minute ritual of previewing before you read and summarizing after you read will completely transform your results. It turns reading from a passive, forgettable activity into an active, high-impact learning process. It might seem like extra work, but it actually saves you time in the long run because you won't have to reread things over and over again. You'll read it once, and you'll actually get it. So there you have it. A complete system to read faster and remember more. We've talked about shifting from passive to active reading, breaking bad habits like subvocalization with a pacer, and cementing your knowledge with active recall and the 5-minute system. This isn't about magical speed reading tricks, it's about reading smarter and more intentionally. Start small. Pick one technique, maybe using your finger as a pacer, and try it for a week. Then add another. The goal is to build a better system for learning. Because in the end, the value of reading isn't about how many books you get through, but how many books get through to you. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, a like on the video would be amazing. I'll see you in the next one.